Mr. Choi Shink-kwok, Director and CEO of Yusof Ishak Institute, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us out of your very busy schedule on RIETI ICS co-organized webinar, Perspectives on Current Geopolitics and Japan. On behalf of the co-organizer, RIETI, allow me to say just a few words. Japan ASEAN Business Week was held for the first time last year. This one is the second. On the very first day, building on the previous year, it is my honor to organize this webinar together with ISEAS. The ISEAS Director and CEO, Mr. Choi Shink-kwok, with the RIETI's partner. I would like to thank you for your leadership and all the efforts in realizing this webinar. And this is the second time Japan ASEAN Business Week. I would like to also thank METI, ASEAN Secretariat, JETRO, and all the related people for your initiatives. RIETI was established in 2001. It's a policy think tank, and it plays a role of knowledge platform while connected to the international society, deepening discussions with amongst the academia, the public sector, industry, and the experts for deepening discussions, while maintaining the collaborative relationship with METI as an independent research institute. We do research on various issues in Japan and abroad, making policy recommendations. ISEAS is among the top-ranking think tanks in Asia. They're engaged in high-level research. In particular, the State of Southeast Asia Survey Report, covering 10 countries in Southeast Asia, conducted by ISEAS every year. This is one of the excellent efforts and very incisive. While the global situation is changing significantly with US-China confrontation, COVID-19, Russia's aggression against Ukraine, going through major changes both in long-term and short-term, ISEAS issued the State of Southeast Asia 2022 survey report in February. We are glad to have Sharon Seah, the Senior Fellow and Coordinator of ASEAN Studies Centre, ASEAN-Yusof Ishak Institute. She's going to give us a presentation with some indications for Japan. Then, expert in international politics and Director of the Institute of Security and International Studies and the Professor of International Relations, Chulalongkorn University, Thitinan Pongsudhirak, and also Professor of METI, the Kanagawa University, who's an expert in Asian international politics. And then we are glad to have Professor Watanabe Tetsuya, Special Advisor to the Minister of METI, Vice President of RIETI, as an MC. With all of you, we would like to have a panel discussion. This is the year 3 since the eruption of the pandemic. We are trying to overcome the effect of the COVID-19. Now there is the aggression by Russia into Ukraine. This year saw major changes in geopolitics for Japan and ASEAN. It's a very important year for international initiatives under the ASEAN centrality. The ASEAN took the leadership for ALCEP. Now, ALCEP took effect, and Indonesia has the presidency for G20. Thai has the presidency for APEC, leading discussions next year, as Japan, holding the presidency for G7, will be taking the leadership. Now, free and open Indo-Pacific should become the source of the peace and prosperity both for Japan and the ASEAN. To revitalize the global economy, deepening of Japan-ASEAN relations is necessary. Actually, the diplomatic relations amongst the government is becoming closer. In March, Prime Minister Kishida visited Cambodia, holding ASEAN presidency. And from the end of April to the beginning of May, Prime Minister Kishida visited Indonesia, Vietnam, and Thai. Last November, he met with Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh of Vietnam, and this month, Prime Minister Lee Hsien-loong from Singapore and the Prime Minister Prayut of Thailand, and also Prime Minister Ismail Malaysia were received in Tokyo. And last week, on IPEF, Japan and the ASEAN 7 countries participated in the launch of the IPEF to advance cooperation. This webinar is indeed timely against this backdrop. I hope that we will be having a productive discussion. This has been a very simple remark, but thank you so much for your kind attention.